Howdy y'all, Random Lady here, and I know I've asked this before in other videos, but I'm asking again. Have you ever had a crazy neighbor? I've had a few, but this time I want to talk about a crazy neighbor that my husband had in the house he was growing up in. The lady next door, she was well known throughout the entire neighborhood, and she had a nickname, and it was the Duchess. The family that she married into was old money. They were pioneers of the town, and they ran a haberdashery shop. Well, they didn't just run it. They started this business. You know, haberdashery, men's clothing, that's not a word used much these days. So they made pretty good money. The farm that they lived on was starting to become a neighborhood, and little houses were starting to be built. In fact, the husband that she was married to, the street they lived on, well, was his name. And the street next to it was his brother's name. Eventually, her husband died, and she still had a lot of life left in her. But she was a troublemaker. There were times when my mother and father-in-law were leaving to go to church, and she started throwing eggs at them. And she had this double Dutch door. You know, the doors where one side would open but the bottom half could stay closed? And she'd be leaning on that bottom half. Even before the police reached her door, she started shouting out at the police and saying things like, "I didn't do it," or "they were bothering me." There was a time when my brother-in-law, when he was young, he and his buddy, they were working on a car. They had the hood up, they're leaning down in the car, probably making a lot of noise while they're working on it, being goofy. She takes a bowl of water, and she's up on the second floor. What window does she choose to pour out that bowl of water? On top of my brother-in-law and his friend. And there was a little field right behind her house and my husband's house, and it was just a neighborhood field. She didn't own it. All the kids would go there and they'd play tag football. Well, she would take her folding lawn chair and she would open it up right in the middle of their football game and sit back and decide to sun herself. So, of course, they had to stop their football game and go away. One time, there was a guy, one of the neighbors, driving down the neighborhood at night, and there she was with all her lights on and her windows open, vacuuming her living room butt naked. She was quite an interesting person, and I can't even remember all the stories I heard about her. But could you imagine having a neighbor like that? And this was a long time ago. Well, that's my stories about the Duchess. Well, I've been doing various videos of story of my life, where I tell stories not always of my life, and I'd like to hear your stories. So please, feel free to hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell with the notifications so that you can know when I put out videos. And if you've liked this video, then let me know what's going on by hitting the like button. And I'd love to hear your stories in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed them and have a great one. Thanks for listening and take care. Bye.